Okay, boys and girls, today we got my Giggle Fat Boy scooter. This is a gas scooter that I actually found in the garbage. It is a bit of a unicorn, and I'll tell you why. This motor was made by Subaru Robin. The factory that made this motor, or engine, was right next to the Fukushima Daiichi plant nuclear reactor that exploded in Japan. So, I don't think that plant will be in operation anytime soon. Therefore, you really can't get these motors. You could get parts for them. They make them through Honda now. You could still find genuine Subaru parts. This was from, I think it was Stanton Online. Yeah. So you can find parts for them, but you're not going to find that engine no more. Back to the scooter. Oh, this is another one. This was found in the trash also. It was blue. It was all banged up. And we put 2 new batteries in it. And we got it going for my daughter. She loves it. We painted it up. Put a little traction sticker on there. Those are all her colors. That's her color scheme. Got a little bell on it. This is a smaller one. This one she rode for 2 years. We also found this one in the trash. Just needed batteries. Not bad. Back to the task at hand. We had this thing for about 4 years now. This thing's been good to us. But it needs a back tire. We got a new one over there. The bearings are starting to make some strange noises. We got new wheel bearings. What prompted this, and the reason I didn't really film a video, is because initially the belt broke. And I was just going to get a belt. But once I dug into it, if you saw I took the engine apart, I had to clean it. So, long story short, I go ahead and I put one of these onto the engine. Well, the engine has these ports on it coming off of the valve cover and the engine crankcase that go back into the stock filter. If you look right there, those 2 little ports, and then it kind of has like a little flapper valve in there where it gets sucked up into the intake track. This thing was dumping oil all over the place with that setup and that setup. I tried to braze in a piece. Didn't really work out so well. We also have bearings for that. This is the gear reduction that goes in between the engine and the final drive, or the rear tire. I'm trying to put brakes on it. I bought some nice Shimano Tourney brakes. But, oh, yeah, well, can't use them anyway. They don't fit. They don't fit in between the tire and here, so we'll come up with something. Because the factory brakes that came with it are they're more of a suggestion than like actual brakes. Initially, when I first got it, I did make a little bracket back here, and I put a second brake caliper on it. But this was cheap junk from eBay. You gotta watch out what you buy on eBay, and I'll show you what's up. And this thing really don't work so well. Now, maybe this was made for a 3mm disc, and I got a 2mm disc, but I wanted it to match the front, so we'll work on that. Again, we got a new tire. I don't know if it takes a tube, but we got a tube. We got new bearings. It's a whole stock of bearings there. There's a second tube if necessary. A word about belts. So this was the belt that broke. 635 5M. Alright. 635 5M. So you go to look for that online. The thing is, they'll sell you a 635 5M. 635 millimeters. 5M is the size of, is however they measure this. the ribs and the spacing in the ribs, the height and the spacing in the ribs. We're not really worried about that because the belt is marked 5M. So I ordered one off of eBay, and this is for scooters. This is, it doesn't, you gotta look real close. Well, if you look, one is thinner than the other. So a word about these belts. Let's come in here. Oops, got my fingers in the way. This is a 15mm belt. This is for an electric scooter. We don't have an electric scooter. We have a 20mm belt. So 635 5M-20. That's how you gotta order that. $5M-20 635, and then the next one was 25mm, 5M 25mm 295, and that's this guy right here. So when you're looking up, oh man, it's 25 by 295. What does that mean? It's the width. It's the measurement across this way. Now, what prompted all this, I can't find the other one right now, but this is chipped and cracked. And I think that's what had torn this belt. Again, it's 3 years old. I'm not a light dude. I cruise around on this every weekend. My daughter with her electric one. And so I'm not easy on it. So, that being said, let's get to work. I'm going to take this axle off the tire, and we're going to pop out those bearings and see what happens. Alright, so we got it loosely clamped in the vise so it don't bounce around and go anywhere. I don't know if you could see in there, there's a sleeve. You just push the sleeve aside, and then gently tap around the bearing, and the bearing should come out the opposite side. And we'll see what happens. Not cooperating. Let's get a screwdriver. Don't you want to move over? We'll get it. Yep. Alright, so you really just needed a thinner screwdriver. There it is. It is out. Looks like that. I'll just take this. Might need to be, oh yeah, it's pushing up against the, alright, okay. All of these are different screws. I wonder who did that. Everybody says to use Loctite on your brake hardware. Loctite is good. All right. Move that back over like so. There you go. Ooh, that one looks crusty. Look at that. Good thing we did this. Alright, let's take a little break and pop the new ones back in. So you get the Koyo 6001 double Z. I like to pop them in using, obviously no tip. This is a bearing race seal driver. And then that'll push it in like so. Make sure it's clean. This thing's pretty clean. That's it. That one's not so clean. Hey, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to put the sleeve in. Dummy. So make sure to put the sleeve in. So you kind of do something like this to align it. You could always adjust it a little bit, but if it's way off kilter, you're never going to get it to stay. And there you go. It's going to be nice. Oops. Okay. Don't strip them. Close. There you go. This thing was fairly tight. The handlebars are hitting my overhead light. Oops. Much better. So the back tire is going to be a little different. Let me give you a little backstory on this thing. So, I found this thing in the trash. It had a wood deck on it. It said Giggle Fat Boy. I tried looking that up. You can't. There's nothing, nowhere, about a Giggle Fat Boy scooter. So, I mean, I searched and searched and searched. There was a forum that I had seen where somebody had mentioned these scooters. And this was the only thing I ever read about it. That the person who was responsible for these scooters, the guy who made them, was disappointed with the manufacturer. And he ended up selling the rights to the scooter. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. Now back here you got between these forks you got spacers on each side with washers. They're gonna fall out. You got to be real gentle putting them back in, but we'll get to that. And that was it. He sold the rights to the scooter, but from what I understand, the guy had something to do with like a Blades or a Moby style scooter. So here's has some little spacers that go on top of this axle that space out the tire. So this is what the back tire looks like. We're gonna have to take this all off, but we're gonna put this new tire on it. So yeah, the guy went on to build new scooters, but there's nothing on this. There's no literature. There's no information. I can't find it.